Hello, everybody. Dylan Geddes here in the Northern Forge. It's been a little bit. I am terrible at keeping track of time. Therefore, when a craft show comes up, all of a sudden, I have a week to make literally everything that I'm going to be selling at the craft show. I'm working on a set of tongs right now, and I realized, hey, it's kind of low down season now, so I should really start making videos again. I don't know why I kind of stopped there for a second. I should have been doing it. I got a little rushed. It was entirely my own fault. Let me get the lights on. I gotta clean this place up big time. Here we are. And this is my first time ever doing a pair of tongs. Now, are you still hot? Nope. Sweet. Okay. So here's where we're at. Here's where we're at. Now you'll notice that there's a massive cold shut right there. Absolutely astronomical. But I mean, hey, first pair of tongs, it's gonna look like crap. Now, if anybody has been a long time viewer, you will know I have made a set of tongs before. These guys, these were made from an easy, like a preform laser cut, and then you forge them out from there. So I forged them. I don't consider them forged. I consider them modified. So this time I'm going to be forging this entirely by hand at the anvil. Only hand tools involved because that's how I want them to be. Now, so far so good. I will mention this is what we start off with. Nothing too fancy and nothing too big. You'll notice this doesn't look this doesn't look like a pair. It doesn't look long enough to be a pair of tongs. That's what it started off as. There's a lot of forging out the reins. And actually, I'm going to end up cutting this off and forging them out a little bit more. So we're actually going to lose some of this material down here. Now, I'm going to keep working on these ones here. So you guys are going to kind of meet me halfway, if you don't mind, because I was negligent and didn't realize, I was silly. I was silly and I didn't film it. But yeah, we're going to get going on this one. I got the guillotine all set up so I can get that cut off, and we're going to go from there. Is that a good angle? I have a couple of ideas. I want to make a hammer. I want to make my own tools. All of these here, they work great, but they're heavy and they're made in a factory. They're made by a press. They're not what I want. I think I'm still going to use this guy. I quite like this hammer, but I think I want to turn this into a small crosspeen. I'm uncertain. This head also needs a little bit of work. It needs to be a little rounder. So that's the reason why I'm making tongs, is because I want to make all of my own tools. Now then, gonna go ahead and bring you over to the anvil, and we're gonna get started. Enough blibber blabber, I say. Enough yip yap. Enough ding dong stuff. Enough shimmy sham, as some would say. Enough shaboom shaboom. I'm just gonna shut up now. I'd say probably about there. Now, if you're watching this video for it to be a how-to, I would like to direct you to other blacksmith videos, because this will not be a how-to video on how to make tongs. I am not the best at doing it, as I have never done it yet. So again, just gonna work up in little sections. And like I said, just for me personally, I think I'm just gonna go for a nice octagon, slightly squared off. Not terrible. doing this way too cold. It's amazing how much you can modify steel. At this heat, I'm just trying to smooth it out, see where I'm at, if that's how thick I want it to be at the top, which is, the answer is no, sadly. The answer is I want it thinner. There we go. Whoa. Now, I don't want to get too zealous here because I don't want this to be thinner than where I last left off, which, not gonna lie, slightly looks like I did that just a smidge. Just gonna go through, smooth everything out. A little bit of flattening. As I do more and more projects like this one, I can see myself getting better and better. Right on. I'm gonna dress this side up a little bit more. Not too bad. I gotta say, blacksmiths make this stuff look easy. I'm definitely not gonna be one of those guys making this stuff look easy. Not too bad though. All right, so gonna set this guy aside. I think this is good enough. Obviously, it's a little tipped up right there. Could do with a little bit of dressing here and here. But I'm gonna work on the other portion of the reins right now, just to show you guys what that looks like. This portion here. Just wanted to make sure that was correct. So I got a mark here. It's at about 40 mil. And we're just gonna half on, half off, half on, half off. I'm gonna move over here. I'm trying not to hit you. And we're just gonna keep drawing this out. Need a little bit more because you can see this is about the thickness I want. You can see it's quite thicker right there. It also looks like it's a bit longer, so I might have to cut it off a little bit, but it doesn't look too bad.
Just looking to get this nice and flat. I'm not too worried about keeping it perfect, as the entirety of this is going to change. Yeah, so interesting thing about tongs, right? So you have to make, let me make sure you can see this. You have to make two sides, but you might be tempted to mirror it. You might be tempted, okay, so I moved this one to the left and then to the left. So I should take the next one and move it to the right. Correct? Thing is that when these things go together, it's going to be the exact same. So make sure that you always move it the same direction. So like you see right here, I have written on my anvil, turn left, just so that way I remember that's the direction I turned. Obviously, I have this one right here that I could just look at, but keep in mind. Another thing too, it might be useful to draw a line on your anvil as to where a 45 degree is, because that's where we're moving next. You're going to turn it left, have it over the anvil, and we're going to do the same thing, strike half on, half off, and that is going to create this step here, which I'm going to be honest, I messed up the step on this part, so hopefully it won't take too much file work to do that. And of course, the very first pair that you make is going to be crap. Haha, see? Forged it this way, so we're then going to turn it left, hold it over a 90 degree, or 45 degree, sheesh. Half on, half off. Ooh, look at that, much cleaner. Nice. We're going to heat this up a little bit more and just clean it up. But yeah, that's pretty good. There's still a lip right there. I wonder why. But yeah, so I could file that out still. As I said, we're just gonna go ahead and clean this up a little bit. And then we're going to take it, turn it left once again. We're gonna get our 40 mil mark, and we're gonna hold that off. Same thing, half on, half off. And this is going to give us more of a defined plate. Now, do I know exactly what that's called? Yes, it's called a hinge plate. This is the hinge plate here. A lot of people call this a nub end. Hopefully that solves our problem. My camera keeps overheating in the middle of winter. So how was I using it all summer? I don't know. All right, we're just going to continue where we left off. Right off the side to really solidify that hinge plate. While I'm here, I'm going to thin out this section. Holy. All right. Now I'm gonna dress the hinge plate up just a little bit, make it a little nicer, and then and then we're gonna move on to the rest. Now, dressing up the hinge plate is all for show. You can leave it just like this, and it should be just fine. I'm just gonna round these corners up a little bit. Doesn't need to be super hot. Just rounds them up a little bit, makes them a little bit nicer. I'm talking like I know everything about tong making, but again, this is my first time. You guys have already seen me doing a lot of work on the reins of the tongs themselves, and they take a little bit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and skip ahead to hopefully getting the holes punched in the hinge plate, and then setting up the nub end itself, because these are going to be used specifically for 3/8 round stock, because that's what I primarily use in my shop, and I have yet to actually own a 3/8 specific pair of tongs. So that's what these ones are going to be. So I will see you guys in just a second. The only reason why I'm skipping ahead, honestly, is because the new file type that I'm doing, the new settings, they take up my SD card quite a bit, and I've only done like I think 50 minutes of footage or something like that, and it's already just about cooked. So I need to get a better SD card, which is perfectly fine. Anyway, I'll be right back. Da da da. All right, sweet. Now these reins are wicked long, so I'm actually probably gonna cut them down and then recycle the steel. But this is what they're looking like so far. Nice and cleaned up. I gotta do a lot of work to them to get them beyond what they are right now. But right now we got to punch the hole, then clean up in between the nub end and the hinge plate, and rivet them together. And then we got ourselves a pair of flat bar tongs, and then I'm gonna put the 3/8 indentation in each of these. So first of all, let's get this marked out. It's a little cold. We're just gonna set our mark, because that's how we do things around here. All right, now that we got that established, we'll go ahead and get that punched in. Now that we got that established, should be pretty easy to make sure to keep your punch cold. Now you can see that mark on the other side there. Ugh. Wait for that to cool off a little bit. I know it seems counterintuitive, but when you punch a slug through, you want it cold. Hold on, I gotta move you. I'm sorry. There we go. Hey everybody, Dylan Geddes here in All Iron Forge. Sorry about that. You'll notice it is a different day. It is dark outside. It's the morning. Hey, good morning everybody. My camera quit while I was working on these. I think I got enough film, and I think I quit just in time to have you guys not miss anything, because I am better than that. I'm better now. I don't want to have you guys miss anything anymore. I did that enough with the Bowie knife. It is pouring rain, and it's very cold. But anyway, so we got the holes punched. We got everything set up, and what you guys didn't see me do is I did that again, made another one, and then I went through with a file and just cleaned all that stuff up in there so they fit together nicely. Now all we have to do is set the rivet and get these kind of finalized into shape. So we're just going to go ahead and continue. I feel like I should be doing an introduction here, but I already did that. So let's just get right after it. Alrighty. I don't have a rivet setter, so I just kind of got to free ball this. If I can. Yee, that's not great. Haha. All right, joke's on me. Rivet's too long. Got it. Ah. Ah. Okay. Well, it's there. Not terrible. All right, now it's just a bunch of figuring it out from here and straightening out the reins and flattening these down. So I guess we just get to it. All right, now I think we're gonna go ahead and mark and get the nub end set up for what I want, which is a pair of 3/8 round stock. So what I'm gonna do is just go in and hopefully get a good mark. That rattled my hand pretty good. Probably should do that hotter. This is the part with the big old cold shut. So we'll get that nice and straight. There we go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this. We're going to grab the 3/8 right where that mark is, set it down flat, and strike this side. So that way, when it's all said and done, both of those marks line up. Nice and hot. There we go. And now, as you can see, we got a nice mark on each side. That is not straight at all, but hey, it fits together, I guess. So we're going to heat this portion up here, reset that rivet, and then squeeze this down, hammer it right about in here, and that should straighten it out a little bit up here. Alrighty. Make sure everything's in line, and now we're going to go ahead and quench it. Which this is mild steel, so it actually makes sense. And as you're quenching the tongs, let me make sure that we're all in line. Yep. As you're quenching the tongs, it's going to contract, which means everything's going to close in on itself. So you want to work them in and out, in and out, in and out. No kidding. Well, that's sad. Go back at it. Hey, check it out. We got another one. Take two. Less aggressive this time. Hey, it's not terrible. There's a little bit of wiggle. There's a little bit of wiggle. All in all, it's not too bad. Let's see how they work. They work quite well. No wiggle even if I'm whipping it. Not too bad, I'd say. Are they pretty? Absolutely not. But they work. Now that we talked about the pros of these here tongs, nothing pro about these here tongs. Let's talk about the drawbacks. Let's talk about the negatives. Let me do my own little critique. So a wise man once told me, be your own best and worst critic, always, with all work that you do, right? So let's do that. I think I did an okay job on the rivet. I cut it down to the right size to get it in the hole. I think I did a pretty good job at lining up the reins. They're not great, but for the first time, not too bad. Not too bad. And since I'm not going to be selling these anytime soon, they're serviceable. Not terrible. Now let's talk about the negatives, the drawbacks. I don't know how long these tongs are going to last. I don't know. These are my very first tongs, and I can tell you right from the get-go that rivet is too small. That rivet is too thin. We learned that earlier, and I will put it in the video. The other rivet cracked in half while I was punching it. Now, I was also very aggressive when I was opening and closing it. I was very aggressive while I was opening and closing it. I didn't realize that, obviously, the shock from the rapid quenching, the rapid cooling of the steel, obviously caused some stress. And with such a small rivet, it snapped. I'm worried that if I'm, clenching down on this wicked hard, that might snap. And it probably will at some point, and I'll let you guys know when it does. Thank you all so much for watching. Yeah, little pair of tongs. Not terrible. My very first set, I'm proud of them. They look like crap. Anyway, if you like the video, please like it. If you dislike the video, feel free to dislike it. Let me know why in the comments down below as to why you either liked it or disliked it, so that way I might better fix it in the future. Proof of concept, this should be shot in 5.3K. I can do a bunch of stuff with it now. The lighting should be better. Hopefully the video itself, the look of it, the cinematography aspect of it, if you want to sound fancy, should be better in this video. Hopefully. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. Nothing but aspirations in the future. I think I say that at the end of every video. Anyway, this has been Dylan Geddes and Gnarled Iron Forge. Very first pair of tongs, and nothing but practice making more tongs in the future. Bye. I forgot to tell you to have a good day. I truly wish that you have a good day. Yeah. Have a wonderful day.